Very good afternoon, welcome to Red TV from Pittodrie Stadium, where it is Aberdeen against Inverness. Caley Thistle in blazing sunshine, sadly not at the back of the main stand, which doesn't ever see any sunshine, but fantastic conditions, a pitch looking very lush, very lovely for a game of football, and as Stephen McMenemy alongside myself, Dave McDermott, will explain, the Dons have made two changes for this game against their Highland rivals, and also news of a surprise change of the captaincy.
Yeah, Dave, captain, a guy who was told a couple of days ago that he wasn't wanted at the club, Derek Young, he's skipper's the side today. Actually, Andy Constein is out.
No room for sentiment in football, as we were saying.
Xander's there as well, so it's a strange decision, but no room for sentiment at all. Vujadinovic comes in for Constein today, Dave Blackman in for Vernon, who's had his herniate operation. Hopefully he'll be back for the start of next season. Langfield in goals, a back four of Young, Diamond, Vujadinovic and Smith. Payton, Jack, Milsom and Aluko in the midfield, and up front with Blackman and Maguire. The bench for Aberdeen: Howard, Pollitt, McGuinness, Anderson, Lowe, Brown and Robertson. Inverness are Essen in goals, back four of Duff, Tokely, Munro and Gillet. Midfield with Sutherland, McDonald, Ross and Cox, and up front is Doran and Rooney. Their bench: Tuffy, Golobeck, Odiambo, Duncan, Innes and Morrison. And today's referee is George Salmond.
Lovely day for football though, certainly crowd will be fairly sparse, no doubt about that, but no excuse for not being able to play good football on that pitch.
It's unbelievable, the difference in the pitch, David. We were saying that before we came on air there. The guys, the ground staff have done a miraculous job. It looks as if it's almost like start of the season, doesn't it? I mean, it's, you've seen the players kicking the ball about, and it's just whizzed about, no problem at all. So as you say, absolutely no excuse for getting the ball down, playing a bit of football today, because that pitch is exceptional for this time of the year.
And Derek Young, Craig Brown explaining that yesterday that one of the reasons for letting players know early that they're not going to be offered a new contract, it does mean that it gives other clubs a bit of time to have a look, and they know that if they're wanting to sign a player early, then they know that Derek is definitely going to be available. You
made a great point last night. We were talking on Friday Sport about Derek's position, Dave. He's a guy in the SPL side, is invaluable because he can play about 4 or 5 different positions, and if there's so little money in the game, you bring in a guy like Derek with his experience. That's why I was surprised, and I have to admit I was surprised that Craig Brown chose not to keep him, because I think he's a great asset to the squad, and his attitude is always spot on. But I mean, I don't think he'll have any problems picking up an SPL side, or perhaps even someone down south.
I think I think Craig, just judging from his press conference yesterday, he was very it was one that he'd obviously thought long and hard about, and in an ideal world, if it wasn't for other players being on longer contracts, Derek would be staying.
Well, I mean, you never know what can happen, Dave. If someone comes in for one of the other players, that he perhaps might end up coming back and offering Derek a contract just to do with wages, but at the moment he's not going to be an Aberdeen player next year, and I think that's a shame. Well,
it's the Dons kicking off, playing their favourite first half way, left to right. It's amazing just how many times they've done that, as Milsom knocks the ball long. Stuart Duff playing it right back this afternoon will allow that just to run out, and that will be the first goal kick inside 12 seconds, and it goes the way of the white shirted Highlanders. Remember, make your point, Red TV at afc.co.uk. that's Red TV at afc.co.uk. Earlier, Motherwell 0, Rangers 5, and that does tighten things up at the top. Stephen, Celtic now with 2 games in hand, 4 points behind, but the goal difference is now 3.
Yeah, it was 8. Yeah, it was unbelievable result, wasn't it? A team that can come back from 3-0 down at Tynecastle, ships 5 against what we've said is a very poor Rangers side, but there you are, they're going for the title, so they're obviously not going to give it up.
Free kick for the Dons, and I think Rob Milsom will be quite glad that referee George Salmond's asking for it, because it was a poor when the ball was moving. It was Lee Cox that just held back Milsom, and it's about 15 yards inside the Caley half. It's on the left. This time he plays it short to Aluko, who goes on a run with the ball, but loses out to Lee Cox. Forward to Rooney, but Rooney straight to Ryan Jack to Diamond to Vujadinovic, and then ball forward looking for, there's a good ball for Shawnee Aluko, who's got Tokely with him. Aluko evades Tokely, gets the ball onto his left foot, gets the ball into the middle, and no takers there.
Great ball,
Essen stayed in his line as well. Gillet eventually gets it away, and it's too strong for Doran, and that will be a throw-in to the Dons down in front of us. Which
if Michael would come in late on that ball, it'd have been almost a tap in for him, Dave. He moved too early for the ball, anticipating it going to the front post. It wasn't the worst ball in the world from Shawnee.
There's a nice 1-2 between Stevie Smith and Shawnee Aluko, and across comes Tokley, and as ever, no prisoners.
Yeah, you don't get in his way, Dave, because he'll take everything, won't he?
Just knocks the ball out for the throw-in, and it will be Stephen Smith, a player that Craig has also said that if something can be done with Norwich City to keep Stevie next season, he's certainly interested in seeing what is available. That's straight to Maguire, and the free kick. It was Cox again, and this is in a dangerous position just outside the area, left of centre, and
right footer, I'd say, Dave, from there.
Chris Maguire would be your obvious one. Blackman's there as well, Milsom's over it.
I think it's tailor-made for Chrissy, isn't it, with that from that distance, right foot.
Ryan Essen just directing his wall in front of him. 4 of them in the wall. Blackman's up there as well. It is going to be Chris Maguire to take it, and he does, trying, it comes off the wall. It bounces back to Michael Payton, who's wide on the right. Payton does well. Michael Payton gets the ball onto the left, and that's just past the post. That was good play. Did the dummy. Derek Young went on the overlap, but Payton cut back inside, and that left foot curling cross wasn't that far away from having somebody in the end of it.
Also wasn't too far away from sneaking in at the far post as well, Dave. It was a good ball in from Michael.
Ryan would tell us, of course, that he had that one well covered.
I think he probably did, in fairness to him, Dave. But you never know. Sometimes you see those sneaking in. Remember, if we want to put ourselves through the misery, remember the free kick from Mulgrew at the semi-final. It was just a ball into the box and just curled in.
Young forward to Blackman. Nick Blackman still, I think, owes the Aberdeen fans some of the form that he displayed earlier on with Motherwell this season. But here's Milsom out to Smith, but that's a poor one, intercepted. But Milsom tries to get the ball back again. Duff eventually plays it forward, looking for Adam Rooney. Cross comes Vujadinovic, and another no-nonsense clearance. Out of play it goes. That will be a throw-in for the visitors, midway inside the Aberdeen half, over on that far side. As the teams, it's no real pattern developed yet in this game.
Good pressure from Aberdeen to start with, Dave. Yeah, they were the ones doing the attacking, but you never know how games are going to go like this. It is an end-of-season feel to the match, isn't it? There's not a lot of real bite to it so far. It's difficult for the Dons. I mean, they know they're safe now. As you mentioned, £80,000 every place they go up the league, Dave, but I mean, how much of an influence is that to players? You know, most of them probably just thinking about their summer holidays, to be honest.
Down the line from Stephen Smith, off the head of Stuart Duff, heads it again, keeps it in play. There's Cox, forward from Cox, headed away by Diamond. Could have let that one run through to Langfield, but presumably there was no shout, so didn't take any chances. Gili gets past, gets the break of the ball over Payton into the middle, headed away by Vujadinovic. Still the danger not over. Cox again trying to get the ball onto his left foot, plays it to McDonald on loan from Burnley, and then out to the right to Stuart Duff. In from Duff, and that's picked up nicely by Derek Young. Forward and 1-2 with Nick Blackman. Young plays it back out to Payton. Payton back to Young again. Now forward to Blackman. Payton, all a bit congested down the right hand side. Ryan Jackson there as well. Then Diamond, and across to Milsom, who's come back deep to pick up the ball. Plays it short out to Stevie Smith, back to Vujadinovic, and then in turn back to goalkeeper Jamie Langfield, whose clearance isn't the best, but the Dons get it back again with Ryan Jack, and this time cleared by Jack, and out of play it goes, and that will be a throw-in. Almost 6 minutes played.
Sloppy couple of minutes, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah, Dons plenty of possession, but not really doing overly much with the ball. And they throw in to Inverness. They play it across, and it's picked up by Gili. Plays out to Doran. Doran tries the back heel, but Derek Young's there, and then Derek Young goes in late on Gili, and
I think Derek's lucky if he doesn't get a booking here, Dave.
I think he might well get a booking for the challenge on Kenny Gili, or may just, well, he's okay. Player maybe looked worse than it was. There's no booking when the player's back
up.
It was a
high though, Dave, you know, again. don't think there's any malice in it, we just seem to get very high.
No goals anywhere to report at the moment. Free kick to Inverness will be taken by Shane Sutherland on the left, the youngster. Midway inside the Aberdeen half on the left. It's not a very good one though, it's cleared by Payton, but only as far as Cox. Cox though, his ball intercepted by Michael Payton. Payton comes forward, just checks, plays it onto his left. That's a good ball forward to Aluko, who gets away from Tokley, makes Tokley look a wee bit silly, which is always good as it goes out to Maguire. Maguire inside to Michael Payton. Here's a chance, Payton into the middle, cleared this time. It wasn't the best ball. Grant Monroe was there to clear, and then forward that ball goes, and it's all the way through to Jamie Langfield, who's out snappily, but Nikola Vujadinovic, and then gets pushed over, and that'll be a free kick. Alex MacDonald, the player, and good wee passage of play there. Down south, West Brom 0, Aston Villa 1 is an early goal there.
It was a good football from Aberdeen there, David. One touch stuff. Michael was just slipping. He tried to put the ball in. I think it was Chrissy that was in the box. It was a Blackman, I think. He just tried to put it across to him, but he just couldn't get enough on the ball. But it was a good bit of football.
Langfield takes the kick. Up goes the giant figure of Ross Tokley. Plays it forward to MacDonald. MacDonald knocks it out to Sutherland. Sutherland back again to MacDonald, and in turn all the way back to Stuart Duff on the halfway line. Former Don, of course. Plays it off Aluko. Breaks for Tokley. Tokley plays it long. Vujadinovic is there to head it clear. Then Smith helps it on its way and picked up by Ryan Jack in the middle of the park with a bit of room. Ryan, and that's a poor ball straight to Gilly. Just didn't look there, and Milsom to the rescue as MacDonald can't control the ball. He plays it to Steve Smith. Smith forward. Tokley barges into Nick Blackman. Nothing given.
He gets away with quite a lot, Tokley, doesn't he?
He does. Grant Monroe forward from Monroe. MacDonald plays it to Cox. Seen a lot of the ball, Lee Cox, in the early minutes. Across to Doran on loan from Blackburn, as of course is Nick Blackman. Cox. Nick Ross was in there as well. That ball forward looking for MacDonald, but Xander Diamond's there just to turn and clear it, but only as far as Monroe. Grant Monroe. But again it's Xander Diamond, and now Milsom to Aluko. Deep in his own half, Shawnee Aluko, not where we like to see him. Plays it to Steve Smith, back to Aluko, who gets away nicely from his marker and then comes forward, crosses the halfway line down the left. Maguire has made a run, that's where the ball goes. Maguire checks, plays it back to Shawnee Aluko. It's on his left foot, gets onto his right foot, punched away by Essen. Great play by Aluko and Maguire there, combining well, but now here come Inverness with a chance of a break. That ball's played forward, and again Langfield sharpish out of his area just to clear his lines, and all the way through to Gilly. Long ball forward. Derek Young will just allow that one to run out, and that will be a throw-in to the Dons. But good play there from Aluko and Maguire, combining well down that left.
It was for his right foot. It's not Shawnee's strongest, but it was a good effort he put in. Unluckily, Ryan Essen managed to parry it, but there was no one coming in to. Otherwise, they might have had a tap in there, Dave. They just weren't switched on it, the guys up front. But it was again good football, and you can see the pitch is paying dividends today, Dave. The guys are getting the ball down and playing some nice passes.
Yeah. Free kick given against Chris Maguire for an infringement on Ross Tokley, which is hardly a contest if you ask me. Grant Monroe plays it quickly, headed in from the right by Sutherland, but nobody there other than Jamie Langfield just to clutch the ball. 10.5 minutes played, still goalless. Langfield launches it long, headed on by Blackman. If he did indeed get a touch, he gets another chance. It does beat him this time, and then Rob Milsom is penalised for high feet, and that will be free kick, which is taken quickly. It's forward to Rooney, back to Doran, wide on the left, gets the cross in, comes off Young, will get the ball again, but Michael Payton dispossesses him, and then not the best of clearances, but that'll do nicely.
It's out the pitch, Dave. Sorry,
yeah. That's exactly it. So your thoughts so far?
It's been reasonably entertaining, Dave, isn't it? For a match, really, there isn't that much at stake other than league placing, really. It's been end-to-end. Don's shading it, I would say, certainly the chance-wise. Here we are again.
Ryan Jack just dispossessing and plays it to Chris Maguire, who showed far too much of it to Stuart Duff. But Duff's
lucky
been,
there,
yeah, he's got the free kick, Chris, but I don't think there was too much wrong with what Stuart Duff did. Ryan had knocked the ball too far ahead of him.
Yeah, he just sticking his foot in, really, and he won the ball, but he went over it. But
Morton 0, Dunfermline 1 is a scoreline.
That's a win for them today. That's coming up. Nice place to visit, Dave. Nice and easy for us to travel to next season.
It's not the worst, is it? Free kick comes to nothing for the Dons, and Duff clears it.
Kirkcaldy.
Yeah, most places are, though, aren't they? Here's Lee Cox. Cross to McDonald. McDonald crosses the halfway line for the visitors. Forward to Rooney, who then runs into Vujadinovic.
Trouble here, Dave.
Gets the free kick. And not sure that Adam Rooney wasn't trying his best to get that one as well, but Nikola made it rather easy for him in the end.
Standing right in his way. I wonder if it suits Big Nick better today. He was saying yesterday, Dave, he wasn't enjoying the football too much because of playing a lot of long ball. That was more to do with the pitches than any tactics. But the pitch is certainly suited for him today if he wants to get the ball done and play it from the back.
Free kick for the visitors, though. Dangerous position, wide in the right. Shane Sutherland will take it. It's 0-0. We've played 13 minutes here at Pittodrie. Is Sutherland? Yeah, is Sutherland. Takes it over from the right, and Vujadinovic with a headed clearance falls to McDonald, and that goes past the post, and that's taken a deflection off an Inverness player, so that will be a goal kick. But good defending there from Big Nicola, who gave away the free kick in the first place.
That's what you want from a big guy like that. That's the way he was playing when he first came into the side, Dave, wasn't it? Just attacking things like that. And that's unfortunately he's not played that way too many times in the past few years, but that's what you want. It was a good ball into the box. You thought the Inverness player was going to be favourite for it, but he just got his head in front and got it away. Good defending.
Goal kick will be taken by Langfield. Play long. Comes off the top of Tokley's head and picked up by Aluko. He's got Smith, but he's going to go on his own and then plays it through to Blackman. Ball back from Nick Blackman, picked up by Inverness, and now here's Doran, who's built up a bit of steam going down the left-hand side, running at pace, switches it over to the right to McDonald. Vujadinovic with him. Vujadinovic just stands his ground and then clears it. That's good play by Big Nicola. Headed away by Stuart Duff. Chris Maguire's in there, but so too is Sutherland. Sutherland comes away with the ball. Back to Duff. Duff threads it back down to Sutherland. Chris Maguire catches him, and that will be a free kick for Inverness. 14.5 minutes played, still goalless here at Pittodrie.
I've seen worse games this season,
It's
Dave.
not too bad, but no goals elsewhere in the SPL either. Just the one for Dunfermline in the first division. But the free kick will be taken again by Sutherland, wide on the right. Further back this time. Lofted long, not the worst, in fact too strong, and that's all the way down and out for a goal kick. So, well, it's been an interesting start, and neither side really has gained the upper hand so far.
Aberdeen probably slightly shaded, Dave, chances wise. I mean, Essendon's definitely been the busier of the two keepers, hasn't he? If you judge it by that, he's had to make a good save from Shawnee's shot. He's had Michael's shot, just went by the post. I think Jamie's really had nothing to do, has he? He's not a save to make. The Rooney's shot was wet, it was deflected wide, not a lot to do.
Thumped up the park by Grant Monroe. Diamond gets a touch on it, might fall for Milsom. It does. Back to Vujadinovic. First time forward for Vujadinovic. Blackman touches it down as
That's a sore
Stuart
one,
Duff
Dave.
catches Shawnee Aluko, and that will be a free kick.
He's getting booked, yeah.
I don't think Stuart's too happy with the decision by George Salmon, but
Shawnee's just too quick for him there, Dave, wasn't he? He did leave I think his studs were up though, so you can see why the ref's booking him.
First yellow card of the afternoon, and we're only 16 minutes in. And Stuart
a long afternoon for Stuart after that.
Yeah. And a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle.
Shawnee looks right in the mood today, Dave.
He does.
He looks right up for the match.
Inside the Inverness half, and it's going to be Milsom to take it. Just looking for some movement, left-footed, looking for Payton, headed away by Gillet. and picked up by McDonald. McDonald challenge, that's a good tackle by Rob Milsom. Ball doesn't stay in play though.
Manager looks very spiffy with his baseball cap on down there, Dave.
When I was down, he was looking, he was asking anywhere I can get a baseball cap. A sports shop, I would have thought. At least it's on at the front, not sideways, otherwise he looked like a sort of aging rapper. Balls all the way down to Jamie Langfield and clutch. 17 minutes elapsed here at Pittodrie. Still 0-0. Langfield launches it long, left foot. Again looking for Blackman, under pressure from Monroe. Doran's in there as well. He plays it back to Gilly. Gilly, an uncompromising thump down the pitch. Back it comes, Blackman in again. Monroe clicking at his heels. Ryan Jack touches it back to Diamond. Diamond gets it to captain for the day, Derek Young. Long ball forward from Young. Cross comes Monroe, and Monroe just heads that one out of play. Chris Maguire, or rather Chris wasn't taking the throw, and that's exactly what's happening. It's going to be Derek Young to take it. Just level with the 18-yard line. redtv@afc.co.uk is where to email. Here's Michael Payton if you've any points at all. Payton, not too much on for him. He's still got the ball, plays it out to Young. Derek Young plays it back to Diamond on the halfway line. Diamond under pressure from Adam Rooney. And Inverness may get this ball back again. But back it comes to Xander Diamond, this time forward to Maguire, who misjudged the bounce of that one. Then Grant Monroe just sticks in a foot, puts his foot through it, and that runs all the way down to Jamie Langfield.
You low at the minute, David. It's gone a bit scrappy, isn't it?
It is very end of seasonish at the moment. Ball's at the foot of Langfield. Launches it long, looking for Blackman, but watched by Grant Monroe. Picked up by Michael Payton, wide in the right. Challenge comes in.
I like Michael's attitude though, Dave. He always just wants to take people on, doesn't he? He's got it. I mean, it doesn't matter if a guy's beat him the last time, he still wants to have a go. It's good to see.
Milsom. Cross to Vujadinovic. Out to his left to Stevie Smith. Back to Vujadinovic. Just comes forward. Inside to Blackman, who had to hurdle the challenge of Grant Monroe there, and that allowed Tokley just to clear the ball. And it goes all the way down again to Jamie Langfield. 19 minutes played, still Aberdeen 0, Inverness 0. Langfield, long from Langfield, and there's a free kick given it against Nick Blackman.
6-1 there, wasn't it? Both.
No complaints from Blackman, obviously.
He's not a very vocal guy since his time. He's
still Hibs 0, St Johnstone 0, Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0. Those are the other two games being played. Free kick is taken long, and Sutherland will try and keep it in play. He does, get Stephen Smith with him, and then he can't keep the ball in play at the second attempt. That goes out, and that will be a throw-in for Aberdeen over on that far side. Still just the one goal in the first division. The Pros are doing well there in the third division. They're 3 up against East Stirling already. Peterhead, of course, already relegated, drawing 0-0 at Forfar just now. Here we've played 20 minutes. Stevie Smith just knocks it long. Tokley's there to head it away. On by Ross, picked up by Rooney. Back to Nick Ross. And then Gilly out on the left. Right-footed, he is very left-footed, but that was with his right, picked up by Doran. Doran trying to wriggle his way through, has to play it to Sutherland. Sutherland back to Cox, first time into the area from Cox, too strong, and that goes behind, and that will be another goal kick. 21 minutes played, and Aberdeen 0, Inverness 0, and
just need something to happen.
It does
Dave,
need something to just spark it into life.
It's not a bad crowd considering that there's not a lot to play for, Dave.
Yeah. And goals at a premium around the country at the moment.
Yeah, players are just enjoying the sunshine, topping up with tans.
Here's Blackman, picks up the ball, does well. Still Nick Blackman, Now Maguire out to Payton. Michael Payton goes for a run, goes down, nothing's given, picked up by Doran. Back it comes, played off the head of McDonald by Diamond. Doran's in there, and here's a wee chance if Derek Young should be back there. In fact, offside. The flag has gone up for offside against Inverness. Wigan have taken the lead against Everton. That could be a very important goal for Roberto Martinez's side as that free kick's played forward, and Chris Maguire will keep it in on the right. That's a poor cross, though it just didn't get above the ground, and that allows Inverness to clear. Ball, and then Doran tries to play it to McDonald. Xander Diamond, well, and Diamond's fallen.
Oh, he's lucky, Dave.
He was lucky. I didn't think there was too much in that. I thought he just slipped, but to be fair, McDonald, he is complaining to the referee, but
I thought he just clipped the ball past him, and Xander's just fallen. He's lucky boy, because I think he was in there.
Free kick, quarter of the game gone now. Still Aberdeen 0, Inverness 0. And Jamie Langfield to take the kick, which he will do left-footed, long. Again, looking for Maguire, but Tokley's there.
It's just a no contest there when they're playing high balls there, is it? Chris has no chance of beating Tokley in there, Dave.
There's Tokley. Maguire does get the ball out to Payton this time. Payton will run it. Gilly's a good defender.
He's done well.
He gets a corner kick, I think. Yeah, yep.
It's a hard shift for Michael, because Gilly's been impressive so far, Dave. A fair bit of pace as well. Good left foot on him.
First corner kick of the match after 23 minutes. And it's going to be the way of Aberdeen from the right, just in front of the family stand and main stand. Maguire, over it goes, looking for Diamond, and that should have been in. It was a free header, and it really was a free header, and he just managed to head it past the post, and well, he won't get too many chances as good as that, Stephen.
That's an absolute sitter, Dave. You and I could have scored that one.